Welcome everyone, my name is Echo, and so many of you have been requesting that we check out the latest updates for the Plenty of Blocks add-on. This is now on the version 1.3.4. This add-on sits with an incredible rating of 4.8 stars with nearly 1,300 ratings from the community. It consists of over 1,000 blocks. Let's check it out. The original description says, the Garden Awakens Update. Get 1,000 unique blocks for almost all block types in-game. Breaking with tools has been updated. Real blocks, no entities, no lag. 20 vertical slabs, wallpaper blocks, and easy craft. Now, we first checked this out around about 5 months ago, and we did, of course, leave some feedback. Owls Cubed are great at listening to the community, and that's why I liked this add-on. The next changelog says, added 112 new blocks. Sorting. Finally, the creator menu has full block sorting. White pumpkins now spawn naturally in pale biomes. Lamps can now be turned on and off, and other small fixes. So I'm not quite sure if they've updated the artwork, but this is definitely a fan favorite. Minecraft certainly needs more blocks. Not until they fix the inventory problem, though. With that being said, there is so many options. If you're a builder, you are not going to get bored of this. And I actually don't think those images do this add-on justice. The latest file size is 4 megabytes. I am so glad I didn't delete this world from the first time I checked it out. Just to put into perspective as to how much content was already available inside of this add-on, this is what it was like when we first checked it out. Now, it had phenomenal amount of blocks. Now it's been extended. And like I said, for context, this was all of the previous stuff, plus so much more, by the way. In today's video, we are checking out all of the 1.2 versions that we missed, but also all of the latest updates. There is so much content, this could have honestly been a separate add-on. And I think this is reasonably priced, and I think around about 830 Minecoins. Let's get into this. So as always, once you do have this installed in a new or pre-existing world, or if you already own this add-on and have recently updated, you are going to be given the Plenty of Blocks tutorial book. Now, you won't likely be on this page. You're likely going to be all the way back here where it says Plenty of Blocks. Now, this is a really easy guide to understand. One more thing to mention, if you do already own this add-on and you have updated, you will get a pop-up on the screen. It only happens once. It basically tells you all of the new features. Now, if you did miss my previous video, I will leave it down below so you can check it out. But this actually utilizes 2 features in Minecraft, one of which is going to be a custom crafting table. It is made with cobble, planks, and iron. Open up this. 3 of these on the bottom, iron in the middle, and 5 around the outside. And you are going to be given the blocks crafting station. However, not all of them are inside of here. I would love to see it as an option. Not sure if it's possible because there's literally thousands of blocks within this add-on. So there's only these available inside of there. If I was to grab myself like this, for example, they utilize the stone cutter, which I'm going to be honest with you, Owls Cubed, I'm surprised you guys haven't made your own custom wood cutter, which works the exact same as this, but it's just made out of wood, since this is a stone cutter. Anyway, I decided to check out their Discord. If I remember, I'll leave it down below. It's a great way to stay updated. Let's go through the 1.2 features first. Okay, so those changes I don't believe are available inside of this guidebook, but again, they are available on their Discord. So a change that was made, of course, the Pale Garden update. It now supports the Pale blocks. So if we put this inside of here, check out all of the different blocks we are able to make. Now, I'll check out a whole variety of these. Some of these other blocks, obviously, previously existed for the other versions, just not this. So we'll grab a whole bunch of these and check them out. So we have the pale braided column. We have the pale carved block. We have large tiles. Mosaic planks. I really like them. They're a nice block. So is this one as well. I like that there's same style. Sorry, same block, but different style. We have the Wait, which one's this one? Oh, why is it sideways? That feels so weird. It's actually a slab. Hold on. Okay, so it places down flat straight away. We have the pale planks edging block, and we also have a polished version as well. Let's check out a couple more in here. So we checked out those ones. I like this one. We'll place this down one more time. We have like slightly different plank styles, and I liked these. We'll make a couple of them. And then we have the vertical ones, which I believe the vertical ones are new, by the way. But yeah, I really like this block. So clean. So clean. We also need to try this with, of course, a pickaxe/axe, which we will do. We have those versions, the vertical, we have the planks, we have the timber. I just think these are great blocks. Vertical again, and then we have, of course, the regular ones. Okay, so let's do the test. If we were to break this with our hands, you can see the break speed is just the exact same as a regular plank. This is what it's like if you use it on a regular iron axe, for example, and this is going to be the efficiency, which is practically instant. So again, I think the first time we checked this out, I don't think the tech was there for Minecraft Bedrock Marketplace partners to do exactly what I'm doing. I didn't know that wasn't a thing from the start. So it's great to see that it's now possible, and it's just a really good quality of life change. Remember, these are all blocks, no entities. So I like the update that they've recently done. They also made some changes to the resin block. Now, this is done with resin bricks inside of a stone cutter. There isn't tons, but there's still a bunch of options here. So obviously we've already got them, but we now have these large ones. We have the polished. I love them. We have the resin bricks. And you know what's going to be interesting about this? We're going to have to break these with a pickaxe and not quite an axe. Grab a couple of them. We'll grab a couple of these. And I will place down a ton of these blocks so you guys can check them out. I think they look so clean. I think with these ones, though, I kind of want to put them in the floor as well. Oh, and they still have that squishy sound. So can break it with a hand. Do you break it with an axe? You don't. You actually don't. You break it with a pickaxe. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. Okay, let's check this one out. This is the large bricks, small, smooth, resin tiles, and of course the brick. So /give@p pickaxe. If we were to break it with a pickaxe, as you can see, the speed is better. Again, the exact same as the wood with axe. It works the exact same with a pickaxe and the stone versions. In the 1.2 version, but also improved in 1.3, is going to be the white pumpkin. If you know the reference, you know. Now, can you carve this the exact same way? /give@p, I think it's shears. Oops, let's do this. If we shave this, yes. Can you put this on your head? Which is a shame. You actually can't. That sucks. Now, if you do get a torch plus one of these, you can make a jack-o'-lantern. They now spawn naturally inside of the pale garden. Let's go and check it out. So I managed to find one of them naturally spawned inside of here. Now, if I was to take this, can you convert it into seeds? You cannot. Let's see if we can find any more, because I actually don't know how common or how rare they actually are. I did a little bit of exploring and found one. I just wish they were kind of renewable, just because I know a lot of people would like them pure and simply for decoration purposes. Let's go to game mode spectator. Have a little look, shall we? Wait, is that another one? Aha, we found another one right here. See if we can find any more. It was kind of easier to do it underneath like this. Just kind of stand out. There's another one there, another one there. So yeah, they do seem to be actually relatively common to find. So head to a pale garden. Another incredible change in 1.2 is that we have more bookshelves. Now, this is simply done using the planks, right? So you grab whatever plank you want. Jungle, for example. An option will be jungle bookshelves. Another option would be birch. I like this. I've always wanted more bookshelf colors in Minecraft. We even have it for... No, we don't have it for the pale ones. Oh, that's a bummer. That's definitely something they have to add. Although they don't look the exact same as your oak ones. I like these. There is quite a lot of diversity with them. We'll grab some more. In 1.2, they didn't add the bamboo versions. But in 1.3, they did. So we've got a mix of both updates here. We'll check out a whole bunch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oh, I like this one. This is really clean. Now, I'm going to go to game mode creative here and type in bookshelf. Okay, so it doesn't look like they have them for their custom blocks, which again would be a really cool introduction in the future. In 1.2, a new item was added, and this is like an item identifier made with iron, stick, and glass. Has to be done in their custom crafting table. It's the block ID checker. So if you wanted to figure out what a specific block was, because there's so many options, you're not going to remember all of these. You can remember just about most of the regular Minecraft stuff, but you might struggle. So it says here, this is resin _large _bricks. This is mosaic planks. This is the timber log. If we go over here from the previous update, this is the blocks logic main. I don't know what that means. That seems a little bit different. To be honest with you, I think it's a little bit tricky to tell sometimes. But we know that's redstone lamp. The basic Minecraft stuff is easy to understand. It would be nice if it kind of popped up above your hotbar without like the actual coding style. But yeah, if you struggle to understand a block, this item will tell you. As for the rest of the changes, I put it inside of here. So we had a bunch of block changes. Blocks remain the same, but now have new textures and names. This was necessary due to reaching the block limits. We replaced older, less unique blocks and added more variety. So a couple of changes here that they had to make. Moving on to the Plenty of Blocks version 1.3.4, the latest. Now, something they emphasized is plus sorting. Finally, the creator menu has full block sorting. Hooray. So if we go to creative, this must have been tricky for them to do. If you scroll down, you'll notice that things are going to be grouped correctly, as you can see here. How clean is that? Again, a lot of you will use this as creative builders. Not everyone is a survival player, but look how satisfying all of this actually is. So that was a really big change that they outlined within that update. And then they also added another 112 new blocks. Now, you can find all of the details regarding this towards the back, which is basically the changelog that I'm going over right now. Didn't want to read it all to you, but you can see the actual blocks that have been introduced. All of the changes via their Discord. I'm going to be honest with you, with this change, I'm not quite sure. It says 20 vertical slab blocks. Now, if we type in vertical inside of here and then try and type in slab, I don't actually see it. But if we do go ahead and type in slab, these are like slightly vertical. So I'm guessing it could well be these ones. But then I also went inside of here and typed in vertical as well. And this produced like the plank versions. So I apologize on this situation. I'm not 100% sure on this one, because these are like plank slabs, but it doesn't say vertical. So I was a little bit worried. These feel the exact same as your regular kind of slabs. So I'm not 100% sure on this, and I do apologize with that change. The only other option it could be is kind of like these vertical ones. So again, guys, I do apologize. My brain isn't comprehending what exactly this means. So it could well be these, since these are vertical. Just, I think the whole slab thing is slightly throwing me off. If anybody knows, please let me know in the comments. This might be one of my favorite changes in this update. Let's grab a snow block. Let's grab a moss block. Open up this custom table. You're now able to make coverings. I hope they add more to this, because check this out. We can put these on here. We can put these on here. We can put them on top of here. How cool is this? Like, the combinations are going to be absolutely endless with this. Please, OwlCubed, add like 10 more different coverings. By far my favorite thing with this. So that is now available in the latest updates. Moving on, we now have wallpaper. And there's like an insane amount. This isn't even half of them. There is so many different wallpaper options available inside of this. But I grabbed some of my favorite ones. So this one is the Stardust. We'll place them like this. We also have the sky, which is clean. Sapphire panels. We've also got the ruby ones. Some are colored and designed. Others are not. I like that one. We have the underwater ornaments. We got to switch so many of these out. But you guys are going to have so much fun with the wallpaper designs. I also liked these ones. These are like the loops. I think they're pretty cool. I'm just thinking of like bathroom and bedroom designs. Maybe even backroom designs, knowing you guys. So many different options. If you wanted wallpaper blocks, they are now available. In the 1.3 update, we now have a frame block. Now, in order to make a frame block, you are going to need these ingredients inside of their custom crafting table. It will make this. Now, you do have more options. You just have to put the timber frame inside of there. So this one is going to be the column one. We also have ourselves the cross. We also have the diagonal left and diagonal right. And of course, we've got the basic one as well. So again, I'd love to see more of these as well. Think of the custom designs that you guys could do with these. So many different new blocks available inside of this. And these are, to be honest, wait, Axe. To be honest, I feel like they definitely should have added more of these. More and more. I don't know how many blocks they can add to an add-on, but we always want more. One of my favorites in the previous update was the gilded versions as well. I actually think this is just an underrated block in Minecraft anyway. So we now have the brick version. We also have a column version. We have the cut gilded. We also have a chiseled. And we also have a polished, which is kind of like the sides. So this is your basic one. I honestly think it's an underrated block, as I said. This is going to be the bricks. This is going to be the column. This is going to be the cut gilded blackstone bricks, chiseled, and this is incredibly clean. I need to see what this looks like in the floor, because that's kind of how I would use it. I think wall path designs, these would be brilliant. We'll go through both of these at the same time. Lapis blocks and redstone blocks now have more variations. So this one only had a few. You have the bricks, you have column, you have the cut, and you also have the polished. And this is going to be the exact same for the redstone as well. So this one's a little bit bolder, I would say. You can definitely see a massive change with these ones. Column blocks, and we also have those as the polished. Lapis, again, another block that I would love to see expanded in Minecraft, vanilla Minecraft. And then, of course, we've got the redstone versions as well. You'll have to let me know in the comment section which blocks you like. I'm a sucker for the smooth versions. I just think they stand out really nicely. I'd use these. Wait, Mike, I'm curious, actually. Hold on. If I was to grab these and put this in here. Okay, so you can't break them down into, like, this form. It'd be pretty cool if you could, but I think that would probably require a lot of work. And I'm guessing you can't do this with these either. No. If you want the ultimate flex, they added netherite blocks, which has to be done with a block of netherite. Talk about pricey. We have the column. We have the horizontal blocks. We also have ourselves the large version. We also have the tile. And we also have the vertical. Just imagine how expensive this will and would get. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. Column ones. Looks very similar to the block itself. Large. Ooh. Hold on. Have a little look at these. Oh, they're pretty clean too. Tiles. They're nice. Vertical as well. And obviously the regular ones. Crying obsidian was also improved as well. This has a couple more options. This being the blocks. You're seeing quite a familiar pattern here. Columns, tiles, etc. This one, look, I'm intrigued by this one though. Okay, so we've got this. We have this. Smooth. Polished, should we say. We have small, and we have obviously this. But this one seems really cool. Doesn't look as good in your hand as it does on the floor, but still. Yeah, these are clean. I like the bricks. I'm a sucker for bricks. Like, I really like these ones as well. Moving on, guys. This is an interesting one because they added a new type of block, which is the mangrove, the shoji. There's mangrove shoji and birch ones as well. Again, this is the wall, apparently. Oh, they have custom, like, you should be able to break these quite easy. Yes. Are they lights? I'm not sure if it's a light source, actually. Let's check. / time set midnight. They definitely feel like it a little bit. Maybe not. No, maybe not. Gonna place them like in between this. No, they're not. But they do look pretty cool. Only like 2 options with this one, sadly, being these ones. And they're done inside of that one, by the way. So if you want to go to type in SHO, and you type in this, you can see the crafting recipes there. Most things are made in the stone cutter, just a couple of options are there. Now, this is new, I believe. Smooth stone block. I believe it's new. I think it's done with this. I don't know all of the new blocks here. I think it's this one. There's the vertical ones. But I have them inside of here. So I believe these are the new ones. I'm sorry if I got it wrong, but look how clean that looks. Looks a little bit like andesite. This is obviously your regular stone. This is the chiseled, and this is the cut version, which honestly is so clean. The sides of this are incredible. Another really cool quality of life change in this update is any kind of light block can now be turned on and off. Now, for those of you that do want to mess around with these, you can just tap them to turn them on. If you have them powered by redstone, they stay on permanently. However, you have to wait a couple of seconds sometimes to turn these off. So if they're connected to redstone, they'll stay on. If they're not, they'll go off after a short period, just like that. And last but not least, what the horse doing? All of the other changes, guys. It says all blocks now display correctly on the mini-map, the ones you hold in your hand, as well as a bunch more changes that have actually been made. Not as many changes in terms of bug fixes in this version. They fixed them all in the previous one. But honestly, like, I'm worried about my space on reviewing the future updates. I hope they add more future updates. I think this is by far the best blocks-related add-on out there. And I certainly look forward to future updates. If you have it, go and update. If you don't, I would certainly consider this if you're a builder. Have a wonderful day.